Hello and welcome to this week's mcscript development update. I'm just kidding. I'm genuinely sorry that this update took so long and that the last version had some major bugs, but I had a lot to do and I focused on other things first. But I wanted to finish off mcscript in 2019 and also explain you a bit more what mcscript is and how you can use it to develop your own data packs. So hopefully there will be a course on that, so multiple videos where I explain the steps to get mcscript and to use it. But this is just the update video for the version 0.2.1. I also developed this new documentation here, so this is pretty easy and structured. If you want to get started, this is now a bit easier. You have a page for every major feature and everything is deeply documented with code examples and descriptions. As always, it is also accessible in English and German, so you can easily switch the language. So if you want to take a look at the new documentation, you can do that at stevatus.com/mcscript/documentation or just by clicking on the documentation tab here. There are also some visual improvements to the way you develop mcscript. So I took the time and made a syntax highlighter for Visual Studio Code. You have some snippets and highlighting, and that should make the development much easier. Also, TrojanerHD made a highlighter for the atom editor, so you are completely able to choose which IDE you want. And for the basic people out there, there's also a syntax highlighter for Notepad++, so you can also use that. But I hope we will take a deeper look at the syntax highlighters and how to use them in the upcoming course. But let's get started with the new programming features. The version 0.2 was hardly focused on debugging tools and error handling. So the watch feature got major improvements. Remember, we can just say in our terminal down here, mcscript watch, and it watches all files. So if a mcscript file changes, all the files are compiled now instead of just this one file, because there were some issues with the extend and the global files. So, and also it does not end the watch if an error occurs. There it just outputs the error, outputs the source file and the line and the column where the error happened. This does not only affect mcscript watch, but also the compile subcommand, where it clearly says error and that the file was not compiled. But of course we can also see the full error by just passing a flag into this command, and then the whole error is shown here. So on this file we see two new features. One feature is that we don't need the file annotation at the top anymore, because the compiler gets the name automatically from the source file and changes mcscript to mcfunction. So that is pretty convenient. And we have also these debug keyword. We can take a look at that when we compile it. Now we see these annotations in the compile message, and the difference between these message in success keyword is just if it is green or yellow. And with this we can debug if certain points of our file structure are reached and when they are reached in the compile time. Then we have also the break keyword and the error keyword. We can immediately see what the break does because it stopped. It can't reach the error. So let's change these two. And now we can see a full error right here with all the debug information. This might be helpful for a few people, and you can definitely find errors faster with this version. Let's continue in this files.mcscript file, and we can use a brand new feature, and that is the function feature. You can just specify the function keyword, then a name of the new function. Let's name it new and use these brackets to hold the content of the function. Here we can say new function, and what it exactly does is, if we take a look at the files right here, it generates just a new function. Now you may ask, why exactly do we need that? We have the file annotation already. And yeah, I would totally agree. For some use cases, the file annotation is way easier, but we can see another statement in here. Let's say old. We can see in the file MC function, this command is in this file. With the file syntax, you have to specify one file first, then the another, and you can't edit the first file unless you extend it. And now we have it directly in the code. We can also set the keyword run in front of it. Then the whole function runs also. So we can easily encapsulate some content inside a add, for example. So it should be a bit more performant. Also, this add generates a execute command, and when we have another execute command in here, I know this does not make any sense, but mcscript just generates that as execute as add s run. So usually that would be execute as add s run execute run say hey. That makes no sense, and I implemented that feature. It should also be more performant. So let's go in the variables file, because the const feature got an update as well. You can now specify const, then the name, and set it equal to a new map. And a map is essentially a key value pair that you might know from a dictionary. You search one word and get another. So in here you have to specify the key and assign a value to it. Of course, you can also do multiple. When you want to use this const now, it lets you use it that way, but when we save it, there is just object. I don't know, that is not the desired result. So let's say we want to access the value of key. We just use a dot and write key. And we can see value is used in this case. We can also use key2 and we have value2. Pretty simple and useful. What we can also do is define an array. An array is basically a list of multiple values, and instead of accessing it with the key, we access it with the index. And computers always start with 0. So this would be 0, this would be 1. So we use 0, and we can access the value like that. And we can use it in modals as well. If we call a new instance of this, we can just insert a new map, and let's say message should be hi. You can also see we can use this inline, and the modal is executed and it says hi. Up here we can also use the default value, also define a new map here. Let's say by default it says hello, but we want to insert goodbye. It says goodbye. And we can also use replace on this key of our argument. And we can just filter out good and we can see it just says bye. But speaking of modals, we have also a new feature that was actually implemented by another person, C. Blech, and that is the JavaScript modal. And what we basically can do is define the JavaScript modal with JS modal, and in here we can write JavaScript code. Essentially, we need to return something what we want to write if this modal is called. So we need a return statement and it has to return a string. So let's just return the string hello. And we call it like any other modal. Oh, I made a slight mistake myself. It is not JS modal, but modal.js. And yes, we can see it returns say hi. And now we can also insert arguments. So let's say plus argument, and we can insert a string, for example, here. And this is passed into the argument and accessible in our JavaScript code right here. And we can see say hello. What we can also use is the console variable, so we can see our output in the console already. To use multi-line output here, either do it like that, or what you can also do is define a new variable and use \n to make a new line, and it also works. So with this syntax we have much more control over what we produce, and you can also insert multiple if statements in here that controls the arguments itself and so on. So also pretty great for the global files and libraries for mcscript. So that was basically it for this episode, and I really hope you like the ton of new features. It should run stable now. If there are any critical errors, just message me. The best way to do that is via my own Discord. Just join it in the video description. If you don't got anything out of this video and still wonder what is mcscript, don't worry. I hope there will be the course in a few weeks or month, and I'm looking forward to it. So see you in the next video, and goodbye.